So you've heard of using your 5 to 9 wisely. Now, what if I told you if that's just step 1? And if you really want to level up, I've got 5 steps for you to thrive. And I call that the setup. Now, the setup is 5 steps that I designed as an eldest daughter who is a lot of things to a lot of people. So I needed to figure out how to use my time wisely and not just keep pouring into others. I wanted to be able to find time to pour into myself too. So I created this system and I'm hoping that you come along on this journey. I'm gonna go through it step by step. This is just the intro video and we're gonna talk about what all the steps are. The next videos will be showing you all the steps in detail and you can follow along, and you can also join the Levanto check-in newsletter where this course is actually emailed to you for free. But here I'm showing you step by step in more detail together how to actually fulfill the system. Hi, I'm Glenelise. I'm founder of the Levanto Collective and welcome back to the channel. We are here to take care of business. No, really, we're here to talk about time and how we need more of it. And because we don't have infinite supplies of it, what can we do to make better use of our time? And when I say better use, I'm not focusing on the productivity of it all. I really am thinking about how can I use my time to prioritize me and give myself moments of joy and still take care of what I gotta do. I'm a lot of things to a lot of people. I have a 9 to 5, 5 to 9, which is the Levanto Collective. I'm a mom, an eldest daughter, a wife, a best friend, a sister. The list goes on and on. So I kind of figured out a way to create a system so I wouldn't go crazy trying to do everything for everyone. And if that sounds like you're in the right place. Because at the Levanto Collective, we learn all the things we should have learned in school, but didn't. I'm also a person that loves efficiency. Like, both my most toxic trait and my best trait is I want to find the best way to do anything. That could mean shopping for dog food. That could be figuring out the best route on the train. That could be figuring out shortcuts to, meal planning. I want to use my time with the least amount of resistance. And if there's a hack, I'ma find it. And so I feel like this is the ultimate hack to get your life together. And I'm here, because there's so many things we're balancing, right? Like I'm balancing the priorities of my business and I'm balancing the priorities of being a mom, balancing the priorities of the older generations that need help from me with all their important paperwork. I still want to have fun. I want to see my friends. I want to hang out with my sister. Like, I need to do all these things to the best of my ability to get them done and be satisfied. That might sound like little type A, but I am type A. And I'm giving you all the secrets so that you can live a type A life with type B energy. What better than that? And so I'm looking forward to sharing these steps with you because I really think that they are so easy. If you just put a little bit of work, I'm here with you together, and I promise you your life will be exponentially better, if not the best it's ever been, based on these steps. At least clear your head of the anxiety of having to do all the things because we have so little time and so many priorities. And this just allows you to create a system that gets your priorities in check without leaving yourself out. And of course, I created this system with eldest daughter energy. Think of me as the big sister you wish you had. And even if you have a sister, I'm still probably the sister you wish you had. So I'm looking forward to being here with you, sharing these tips with you, and hoping that they work for you. With a community of women of color to help support you through this journey. And as the founder, I created these systems to be able to really redesign our lives to find joy And it's something we really need right now. So time is our most precious resources, yet we give it away to anyone and lower our priorities for other people's. It's time to change that narrative. So this course is about reclaiming your time and prioritizing what really matters. Now, the first step is about just figuring out how ready are you to thrive. And I call it the Rise Check. And it's a series of questions that asks only a few. You can actually click below to take the quiz yourself. And we're going to talk about the very important things that I think we're missing from my life, which prompted me to create Levanto. Now, the first thing is I'm going to think about our money mindset, because our money mindset allows us to really find the financial wellness and security that we need in these interesting times. Then we're going to talk about, whether or not we feel safe in our careers. Things are a little precarious nowadays with employers, so we need to realize what is our inner potential and how we can monetize that in any way that would allow us to have the financial security so that we can actually feel safe. It's wash day, so hair is a little flat right now, but as it air dries, it will grow and grow and grow for a mind of its own. Scheduling in joy, prioritizing family time. We're doing things in a way so that you feel whole and not drained or anxious at the end of the day, that you have too many things to do and not enough time to do it. Now, not saying this system is perfect, but it has really helped me calm down some of my anxieties, set aside time for myself, and really redesign my life so that I'm taking control and not everybody else. So, how's the quiz? It's really quick, right? It's super easy, super questions, but they're questions that you never really ask yourself. And it's good to know the starting point so that you can figure out what the next steps are for the life that you want to lead. If you mostly got first answers, you're ready to rise. Your starting line of your journey, you're kind of in a place of discovery, and that's a great place to be, because that's a place where you are a blank slate and ready to get into this journey. If you got mostly second answers, your elevation in progress, look at you. You got some grounds, you're getting momentum, you have some things going for yourself, but keep pushing. The peak is just ahead, and this is going to get you there. If you got mostly third answers, then you're thriving at new heights. And girl, I'm impressed. You're not just rising, you're soaring. So if you've mastered some key areas, I would love to help you really create structure around your life so that you can get the most out of it. And join the community so you can share that wisdom. Girl, share the tea. So I'm looking forward to having you here so that we can get to a place where you have structured your life and redesigned it so that you have control and you prioritize you and you're investing in you. And I'm saying you a lot, but it's true. We ignore ourselves in so many ways, or we actually don't even know where to start. Well, you're here, you started, and let's keep going. So I created this because I know not everyone's type A. And I would love for everyone to live a type A life on type B energy. So here, giving you eldest daughter energy, I did a lot of the work for you, figured out a system that worked for me, and I'm sharing it here with you. And I'm hoping that with this information, you are able to really take control of the little things that we can in a moment where everything feels a little chaotic. And this is your place to get grounded, away from the chaos, away from all the interesting things happening in this world, and focus on you. Because no one is coming to save us. We have to save ourselves, and this is where you can start. Sunday is usually the day I do my total reset. Wash my hair, wash my kids' hair, plan for the week, and I decided to sit down here and talk about the setup. which is the 5 steps to thrive that I created to allow me to live the best life that I can. I think we all deserve to live a soft life, especially in these times. I'm trying to take care of me and mine, and I want to structure my life and redesign my life and take control of my life so that I can be the best version of myself, and that's a softer version of myself. So I created a system to kind of give me the best chance of doing that. And I'm here to share it with you. We ask ourselves questions that we typically don't, and it gives us honest answers as opposed to the answers that we make up in our head exactly about where we should be in life and how we need to get there. In step 1, I talk about all the different steps. You can check that video out in the link down below. And I also set up a quiz to figure out exactly where you are in life. And we ask ourselves questions that we typically don't, and it gives us honest answers as opposed to the answers that we make up in our head exactly about where we should be in life and how we need to get there. So take the quiz down below, it's free, and then come right back here to step 2, and then we can get started on building your sanctuary. So step 2 in the 5 Steps to Thrive series is about building your sanctuary. Now, the world is chaotic, to say the least. So if you want to build a space that can actually bring you reprieve from the outside world, this is how I figured it out for myself, and I'm hoping that it works for you too. Let's get started. Step 1, find your sweet spot. This is a space that feels safe and peaceful to your nervous system. It might be a spot by the window, a corner of your bedroom, or a cozy chair. Research shows our brains are constantly scanning our environment, deciding if we're safe or stressed. And you shouldn't be doing that same back and forth when you're in your home. You do that enough when you're outside. So ask yourself, where do I naturally feel calm? That's a good starting point. Try a few spots over the next few days. Pay attention to where you can actually breathe deeper. Step 2, set the mood. Now you've found your space, so let's set the mood. Let's create a vibe. First, you can start out by pouring your go-to drink into your favorite cup. It can be a beautiful, nice, warm cup of tea. It can be a nice cafecito. Yes, even water with a cute straw counts. Next, let's invite some other senses. Light a candle or turn on the diffuser. Studies actually show that scents might even be better than visuals for reducing stress. So now let's think about the sounds. Maybe you can play some nature sounds, soft music, or embrace the silence. Whatever helps your system settle. I actually have very particular tastes when it comes to music. Undone Page on Instagram does songs for your mental health. Love her playlists. I'll also link a couple of YouTube DJs that I love that just help, curate my moment. My moment actually curated by an actual human versus AI. So I'll link those below. And remember, this isn't just about ambiance. You're literally giving your nervous system cues that say, you're safe here. Now, step 3, we're gonna glow up your space. We've arrived. It's time for the glow up. Because your environment should regulate you and not activate your stress response. First, start with lighting. Natural light is gold, but a warm lamp beats harsh overhead lighting every time. Also, add a little greenery. There's actual research on this. People in spaces with plants recover from stress way faster. As you can see here, our friend has plenty of plants. And then there's the decluttering. Your brain actually processes visual chaos as potential threats. Yikes. Less mess literally equals less stress. So let's think about that when we're in our environments. You may not feel like actually cleaning up, but you're actually doing yourself a service by getting all that visual clutter out of the way. Step 4, sometimes you gotta switch it up. If home just isn't cutting it, switch it up. Try a local cafe. Bonus if it's POC owned. One of my favorites is the Oma shop in Harlem. They have 2 locations. One of their locations has a barber shop in the back, kind of amazing. But they serve the best coffee. The environment is great. They have amazing donuts. It is a good place with a good vibe to kind of take you out of your normal routine and give you a new space, a new environment to work in. But also, you don't need to overhaul your space altogether at home. Just make a few intentional changes that help your nervous system chill. You could also check out your library, a quiet bookstore, a peaceful park. Your sanctuary doesn't have to be fancy or fixed. It just needs to help you regulate and recharge. Okay, so now guess what? You've made it all the way to the end to step 5. And step 5 is one more simple thing. I want to see your sanctuary. So share your sanctuary on Instagram and tag hashtag 5 Steps to Thrive and at Levanto. That way I can cheer you on. And we're all about progress, not perfection here at Levanto. So take your time curating this space. And I would love to see the little changes that you make along the way so I can help cheer you on. And don't forget to, if you're a Levanto member, to create a thread on our community so that we can see beautiful pictures and give ideas and share thoughts on how we've made our space better, and hopefully it can help you. I'm here to help you live a type A life on type B energy. We all want that, right? And in order to do that, there are some things we have to put in place to make our lives just a little easier. And one of those things is managing our calendar. It's not fun, it's not sexy, it's not exciting, but it does work. Because what I feel is I don't have enough hours in the day. I don't know about you, but that's how I feel about my life. And then I'm stressed about doing everything, about taking breaks, about doing the tasks I have to do around the house, about work. And it seems like I don't have time for any of those things all at once. And I just sit in a ball of anxiety and don't get anything done. So I had to change. I had to do something because I have too many roles and too many things are falling through the cracks. So what did I do? I learned about time blocking. So you think you should be using your calendar like this: 9 a.m. meeting, 12 p.m. lunch. Then I have a project that's due at 1. Then I have a meeting at 2:30, and then I have another one at 4, and then I have 6 o'clock I gotta leave. So that's the end of the calendar day. Wrong. Very wrong. What you need to do is block out chunks of time where available to prioritize all of the tasks that you need to do for one particular type of activity. And that allows you to kind of like brain dump in that moment. All right, I'm going to work on everything that I have to do on project 1. And in those blocks of time is dedicated to project 1, as opposed to jumping around to project 1 and then wait, I need to do grocery shopping, and then I need to do this and I need to do that. And you end up not accomplishing any of those things because your mind keeps jumping around to what you should be doing in that moment. So now in that state, you're not getting anything done. We're going to change that. And the name kind of says it all. You block out chunks of time in your calendar dedicated to specific categories of tasks as opposed to individual tasks. That way you don't feel the anxiety if you block 9 to 10 to do one particular thing, you don't finish by 10, you feel like you haven't accomplished anything and then you're rushing, nothing gets done. Instead, you have an entire chunk of time of your day. I like to at least do 2 hours, 90 minutes, particular type of task. And then I just dump everything that I'm gonna do for that particular thing in that time. And that way it's not an overwhelming thing to kind of get things done in an allotted time. And it also gives me a little bit of accountability. That way I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do this whenever. No, this is my time to do this particular type of task. And this is the dedicated hour and a half that I have to do all of these things related to this one project. And it really does ease some of the stress of also having to think about when to schedule to do the things on your to-do list. So we're gonna run through the process to get you started on time blocking and finally using the calendar the way it's meant to be. All right, where was I? Okay, you have made it to the live demo portion of Calendar Magic, step 3 of Levanto Collective's 5 Steps to Thrive. So now I'm gonna walk you through exactly how I schedule my time. Time is our most precious resource, so we need to really think about using our time with intention. And I'm not just talking about like productivity and doing the most work and spending the most time doing the most tasks. The first thing you need to do is remember that you're human. And what I mean by that is we're going to schedule the basics, like eating. Very important to me. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, we're going to schedule it. We're also going to schedule your wake up time, your get ready time, your commuting time, your time at the gym, my wash day, we're going to put that in there too. All of the things that make you human. We tend to always use our calendar for productivity, for work, for situations that require us to be an employee, but never really for ourselves. So first thing we're going to do is we are going to schedule our wake up time. We're going to schedule this to be a time that's realistic for your lifestyle. I know the internet says we should all wake up at 5 a.m. That won't be me, probably won't be you. So let's be realistic and let's call it 7 a.m. 7 a.m., we're gonna say time to rise. Time to rise sounds fun. And like the best part about this customization is it allows you to have control. You can call it whatever you want. I'm going to make sure that this is a reoccurring event. And let's say my time to rise on Monday to Friday is 7 a.m. The weekends are a different story. I'm going to make that into a color that is kind of like fades into the back, but isn't super prominent. It is important, but we're going to color code to make sure that our eye catches the tasks that have the most urgency in the moment. So I'm going to go with lavender. That sounds like a pretty color. And 7 a.m. to 8, let's say, time to rise, get ready with me. Not that you're going to be recording this in a get ready to me fashion, but you know, it's my calendar and I can do what I want to. So that is one time block that we're going to do in the basic time. Another time that we're going to schedule is more eating. We're going to schedule lunch. Let's say you take lunch at 1 p.m. We're going with lunchtime. Exclamation point. Exciting break in the day. I get to eat again. Gonna make it that same gray. We're gonna do Monday to Friday. Save that. Next, we're going to schedule dinner. You hear me? We're going to schedule dinner. So dinner is going to be a block of time that I dedicate to my evenings. So let's say, I'm gonna say dinner and bath time. For everyone, for me, my child, the dog, bath time, part of the evening routine. And we're gonna extend that, since there's many of us and one bathroom, New York City apartment problem. So that is dinner and bath time. I'm gonna make it that same lavender color and save. Oh, we didn't make it reoccurring. We have to take a bath and eat every day. So that I will make daily. I also want to schedule my wash day. It's a very important part of my life to me. So let's say Sundays at noon is going to be wash day. That is going to repeat weekly on Sunday. And we definitely need more than an hour. So that will be at 2 p.m. That is wash day. Let's see, make sure we change the color to our lavender color, which we now associate with our basic needs. Wash day reset. Save. So we saved the wash day reset. And now this looks like a good place to start with your basic needs. You've already done more than you've ever done before just with doing that. But you know what? I'm gonna expand to time to rise, get ready with me, commuting. So we have a bigger chunk of time and it does not feel like I have to accomplish all of these things in an hour. So I'm gonna say that for all events. Now I have a big chunk of time to get ready and commute to work. Now the other thing that we're gonna schedule as a reoccurring thing is planning our day. Now I use a particular template that I created on the Levanto Collective newsletter. If you join the Levanto Collective check-in, every check-in comes with a template to this Levanto Collective daily task list that I use religiously. It's a PDF format that you can fill out. If you're more of a pen to paper person, you can also print it out. I created a little booklet for myself so that I have it and can write in it every day. So I want to take time in the morning to make sure that I do that. So I'm going to put, let's say 30 minutes, generously 30 minutes. We're going to give ourselves to plan the day. We are even scheduling the planning. And this really helps you orient yourself, like when you get in, okay, what am I need to do today? What do I need to accomplish today? You can check your email, see what's on the task list, and what projects need to be filled out or deadlines need to be met. And then you can plan your day accordingly based on the chunks of time that we're gonna put in the calendar next. So I'm gonna make that reoccurring Monday to Friday plan for the day. We're gonna change our color. Let's make this yellow. So we're moving on to the next one. I like to break it down and create themed time blocks. So step one, we schedule the basics. I want you to now think about the things that you need to do and put them in buckets. I hold many roles in my life. I'm a mother, I'm an employee, I'm a wife, a sister, a daughter, a business owner. So there's so many things that I need to do, and they generally go into the buckets that I like to make are for my individual roles in my life. Boundary setting is very important if you have multiple roles like me, which I'm sure you do because you're watching this video, but we'll get to that in a different video. I like to break it down into work, Levanto, and home. So today I'm going to make sure that I have focused work time. So from 9:45 to 11:30, focused work time. 11:45. Give us 2 hours. And then we're gonna repeat that. We're gonna do a custom thing. So we're gonna repeat that on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Let's just say that that's what meets my needs right now. So let's keep that orange. Now you have chunks of time in your week for focused work time. Whatever that project may be, that's what you're gonna be working on during that time. And let's say that my afternoons are typically meetings. So let's say following lunch, and I'm gonna give myself buffer time. I'm trying to leave space in between. That's actually step 3, is add a buffer. Like, the reason calendars typically don't work is because every task or meeting is butted up next to each other. And as much as you can help it, which I know with work, you can't really control that all the time, but as much as you can help it, probably set boundaries where you can. That's another thing. Create some buffer time in case you get into the flow state, in case someone needs a last minute meeting, in case something else comes up. You have an opportunity and you don't feel anxious about the fact that you may or may not make it to the next thing. So let's say that Mondays and Thursdays are heavy meeting days, and I have enough control over my calendar to say, if anyone wants to schedule time with me to meet, Mondays and Thursdays are the days. So I'm gonna put meeting for Levanto. I'm gonna make the meetings for Levanto tangerine, and I'm going to make a custom reoccurrence at Mondays and Thursdays are the days that I'm gonna set meetings for Levanto from 2:30 to 4:30. Boom, you've done it. These are like your meeting times. And that way, you know, if you have an opportunity to meet with someone or something comes up, you already have a block of time that you can easily give to people for your availability. So let's say we got some Tuesday and Wednesday situations going on here. Tuesdays and Wednesdays, before lunch, you like scheduling gym time. And that's a reoccurring thing. It can be a custom repeat. Tuesdays and Wednesdays, that's your gym class. It's scheduled. We'll change it into a different color. Let's make that pink. Flamingo, actually. Save. So that's done there too. So now I've done like the work things. What about the home stuff? And I know we feel like we need to do home stuff at home, but like paying bills, online grocery shopping, creating grocery lists, shopping if you can. Now, instead of doing it throughout the day where during my focus work, I'm like, oh, I need to buy more lettuce, or oh, there's this bill I need to pay. I need to do that right now. I'm gonna set time on Friday afternoons specifically for everything home. And now we're going to make it reoccurring weekly on Friday. We're going to change the color. Let's make the color of home peacock. Save. So now every week, you know that particular time, 2:30 to 3:30, is your time to get things done for home. So when you're doing focused work time, so when you're doing meetings for Levanto, you're not thinking about, oh, I have to do XYZ. Write it down on the list, on the to-do list, and you know that is the time that you're gonna work on home things, like the online grocery shopping, orders for, we're not promoting any businesses, but orders for cleaning products, for hair care, anything like that. So let's also add a few more touches. And then once we get back, you'll see my full calendar and the beauty that it is to have time blocks. Okay, so let's say on Tuesdays and Fridays are times that people can schedule meetings with me. So a good feature that I really like, appointment schedule. This is a business account, but I'm sure you can do it on your regular account. You can now create a time that people can book with you. So it's like, let's meet. So let's say from 10 to 12 on Tuesday, I have availability. Let's meet regarding partnerships. So that can be my partnerships meeting. Set up the schedule. And that can be on Tuesday and then add Friday. I can now save, and I can share the link with people who are interested in booking time with me. So it kind of streamlines that process, so I don't have to constantly be trying to figure out when I'm available, when I can talk to people about this particular topic. And now it's semi-blocked off, but available to people and when I feel that people should have access to me. So that's another great feature that I like to do in the calendar. And it already looks beautiful already. Look at all these colors. Look at all the things you're gonna do and accomplish in these chunks of time. And then you can fill in some more. So you could say, I'm working on, when it comes to meeting times, the notification block is usually not put in there. So you have to add it, and you can save that for all events so that you don't miss out on things, because that's definitely happened to me that there's something in my calendar that needs to have a notification that doesn't. Let's add a few more things to fill up the calendar. And I don't want to just fill it up for the sake of filling it up. I want to create moments where I can work on important things in buckets, so I know that that is the dedicated time that I have to this. So let's say there's an important project that I'm working on. Let's call it Project 1. We're gonna have that customized to Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm gonna work on this project. And then we're gonna change the color. Let's make it blueberry. Well, it's important. So let's make it tomato color. And the time block that I'm going to use is 2:30 to 5:30. I know on Tuesdays and Thursdays, that is what I'm working on. And I'm going to save that in. And there's opportunity there to overlap. So let's say that I don't have meetings for this week. I'm going to delete this one. And I'm going to just delete this event. But for the following week, it's still there. So we could change the opportunities here to work on this project and make adjustments based on what we need to do and change. And that's the beauty of the system. It's meant to constantly change. The important part about this is that it's customized to you. Now look, it doesn't look like there's a lot going on, but at the same time, you have the chunks of time that you need for the things you need to do, including your wash day reset. And you know what? The other thing I'm going to add that's really important is budget brunch. We need to get together with our friends and do our budgets together. And that is going to happen from 11:30, 1 o'clock, Levanto, budget brunch. We're gonna change the color and we're gonna make that money green. And look, there goes your amazingly organized calendar and life. Oh, the other thing I want to make sure is that I want you to share your time blocking name. So how I called mine Time to Rise, I want you down below to give me your favorite category that you created in your time block. Think of fun and catchy things that will get your attention when that notification pops up. All it is putting things into categories so that every time you need to accomplish or switch a task, your brain isn't doing the scheduling. It's already done. And now it's in your calendar for pretty much the rest of the year. Nothing has been done. We took maybe 30 minutes to get this done, and it could have been shorter if I wasn't talking so much. But this is what I think you can use as a system to customize, to live your life intentionally and use the time that you want to use wisely. And look at all the space that we have for other things and the buffers, so you don't feel the anxiety of having to do everything in every moment. And there's space for when things change, because that's life. And we need to be flexible, but the system allows us to do that. So let me know down below if you have any questions about time blocking. I'm happy to answer them. So, did this help you? Let me know. Did you try it? Did you hate it? Are you not a calendar person? Do you have a favorite app that you like to use instead of Google? Share all the tea, especially if you're a Levanto member. Go on the forum, let people know exactly all the calendar tricks that you have so we can share with the community and make sure that we're using our time wisely and intentionally, because time is the most precious resource that we have. And with a little bit of tweaks, we can really make time for most things in life.
I was inspired by the Well Guide's post about 5 necessary days in a month, but I put my own little twist to it. Now, she talks about the 5 days that we need to schedule every month in order to be more in tune with our lives and just less overwhelmed. I will list the 5 days for you. For the 5 days, each day has a purpose. And you don't necessarily have to stick to these particular names or these particular categories, but I do think that the themes overall are something that, at very least, you need these 5 days. If you want to schedule more, that's up to you, but here's the bare minimum that I think you need to schedule. Now, first is your personal errands day. Talking about haircuts, organizing the house, groceries, adulting in real time. Now that you have a designated day, it won't be in the back of your head, oh, I need to do X, Y, and Z. Oh, I need to do grocery shopping. Oh, I need to do this. When you know that there's already a day in the month, at the very least 1, if not 2, that you can dedicate this time for the adulting. Then the next day is the restoration day. I'm talking digital detox, pampering, maybe a spa day, maybe you get a facial or do some morning yoga for outside or take a special class. So think of the restoration day as a day for pleasure, just for you and no one else. Then there's the adulting day. Now, the adulting day is about setting goals for the month. What do you want to accomplish? What are some things you need to do? What are some important holidays or upcoming events that need to be taken care of? And schedule your time for those things on that day. I do my money and my budget brunches on my adulting day, the next day that you need to have is a no plans day. And when I mean no plans, I mean no plans. It is a weekend of stillness. Think of it as a day for creativity. Maybe you like to write. Maybe you like to draw. Maybe you like to cook. Something that allows you to focus on intentional time and creativity. Something where you don't have to leave the house for if you don't want to. You start off with a slow morning. Something to really make your day more intentional. The fifth and final day is your connection day. And this is a day that you spend and dedicate to friends and family or the people that you love the most. Take this time designated to them. That way you have the opportunity to visit your mom or see your distant cousin or, schedule that monthly girl dinner that you can talk and recap. So this is a special day just for the connection that you have in your life. And the important thing is that you hold these people dear and you set time intentionally for those relationships to grow and build your community. Let's say I typically like to plan this either towards the end of the month or in the beginning of the month, depending on what's going on. And the one thing that I like to start with is like important holidays or people's birthdays or events. That way those things are front and center and I don't miss those or forget to buy people's presents. So then moving on, after that, the most significant thing that's going to affect my month is my menstrual cycle. So I typically put those things in there because I do track it. That way I'm really taking care of myself and making intentional time for my body when I need it. So let's say hypothetically, we're in the month of September. Let's say I'm planning for October. Let's say October 12th is my first day. Day 1 automatically becomes my no plans day. I'm staying in, I'm wearing comfy clothes, I'm ordering food, I'm eating chocolate, I'm watching my favorite show. That is the day that I just cocoon and no one bothers me. The top of the week is my no plans day, and I like to schedule my restoration day at the end of the week. So let's say for this, it's the end of the week happens to be Saturday, it's gone. Following Sunday after my no plans day is my restoration day. So it's recovery, it could be a yoga class, it could be a massage, even a mani-pedi or an at-home mani-pedi, an at-home facial. You don't even have to spend money to do these things. Just set aside the time for yourself. So we have our no plans day, we have our restoration day, and that is to bookend the menstrual week. Let's talk about the actual adulting day. So adulting to me is more about the planning, the budgeting, goal setting, paying bills, making sure that all of my accounts are good. So I like to do that on a day during the week. So that way I'm kind of already in work mode and I'm focused and in an area where I can just be heads down and tuned in to the important work I need to do. So it could be on a Saturday where I have my budget brunch. And if you're not familiar with Levanto Collective's budget brunch, you should follow us on Instagram to see when our next one is. It's when we get together and do our budget for the top of the month or every quarter, depending on what you want or what you need. And we help each other out. And I give tips to everyone to be able to manage their money for the month ahead. So if I talk about doing my adulting day during a day of the week, I'll pick a Friday, maybe it's a payday. That way I can pay my bills and manage my money. So let's say the first Friday in October will be my adulting day. I'll get my grocery list together, set aside my budget, do all those things that need to be planned out. So the Saturday after my adulting day becomes my errands day. We have our adulting day planned out, our errands day, no plans day, restoration day. Now it's time for our connection day. Now for me, the connection is with both friends and family, and it's a day that I dedicate to the people I love most. I'll typically like to do it towards the end of the month, a little bit after maybe the week and after my restoration day, because I've kind of cocooned to myself, kind of had my time to myself, and now I'm like ready and have the energy to be social and be interactive with people, because during my menstrual week, that's definitely not the case. I'm going to schedule my connection day on the last Saturday of the month. And you can even make it a ritual where, you go visit or have a brunch with your friends, or dinner or happy hour that you do together. It's something that, becomes intentional time set aside for the people that you care about. That way they know ahead of time, oh, this is the day I'm carving out for you. And they can do the same. So that will be my connection day. So since I'm a mom, I kind of use my connection day as a 2-for-1, and I'll do a family visit in the morning, and then the afternoon, I will make plans with friends, and then the evening, I'll have dinner with the husband. And that way, grandma gets to stay with the kid, they have a grand old time, I get to enjoy, have uninterrupted adult time, and then I can focus on nurturing the connections with the people that I care about the most, and with intention and purpose. And hopefully we can create a ritual where we see each other and it doesn't feel like months and months and months have gone by, or people complain, oh, I haven't seen you, when are we going to get together? I have my connection day. So if you want to see me, let's make plans on a day that works for both of us, and hopefully it's your connection day. So there you have it. We've scheduled our 5 magic days. So now that we've scheduled our 5 magic days, I want to see what your magic days look like. Share them down below. What are the 5 days that you've created? Where do you want to see yourself in the future month? What goals are you setting for yourself? Let me know, because I'd love to cheer you on. If you're a Levanto member, start a thread. Let's see a picture of you in your restoration day, your connection day, and a brunch with the girls. Let's have a good time and share in community what our intentional time looks like.
Here for step 5 of the 5 steps to thrive. So this is a system that I created in order to optimize or just live the best life that I could given the circumstances that we're living in. So you've made it to step 5, which is cultivating joy and radical rest. And it's arguably, to me, the most important. But we've been on a journey together. We did a rise check. We've created a beautiful sanctuary. We revolutionized your calendar and maximized your month. But let's say you're doing all that and you're still exhausted. Well, it's probably because I left the hardest step for the last step. It's counterintuitive. It's the one where you think, I don't have time for this. But actually, it's the one that makes it all sustainable. Look, I get it. Last week, I was running on 3 cups of coffee, 4 hours of sleep, and pure determination. A friend texted me to see how I was doing, and all I could answer was 5 upside down emojis. But what I wasn't telling her and myself is that I was exhausted. I was getting irritable with the people that I love. I was making rash decisions, and I knew that I needed to prioritize joy and rest in that moment before it was too late. Sound familiar? So I did something I never do. I canceled my weekend plans. And I mean canceled, not rescheduled, canceled. And I put away my phone. I ignored my emails, and I asked myself a question that I hadn't asked myself in weeks. What do I really need? And the answer wasn't another system. It wasn't another optimized schedule or a new planner. It was rest, real rest, and joy that wasn't scheduled, earned, or productive. That weekend taught me that step 5, cultivating joy and radical rest, isn't the cherry on top. It's the thing that makes everything else possible. Because here's what I learned. You can have the most beautiful sanctuary, the most optimized calendar, and if you don't know how to rest when life gets messy, if you don't know how to access joy when there's chaos, you're basically just organizing your way to a prettier breakdown. As women of color, we're conditioned to be everything for everyone. the reliable daughter, the star employee, the one that has it all together. What people don't see are the 3 a.m. panic attacks, are the constant anxiety, is going to your car after work and crying for no reason. And then we open their phone and the world is literally on fire. Our rights are being taken away, our communities are being attacked, and the institutions are failing us left and right before our eyes. How are we supposed to practice self-care when our nervous system is stuck in survival mode? When the institutions that are supposed to protect us, education, healthcare, our workplace, are treating us like we're disposable? Here's what I learned sitting in the park and what my therapist has been telling me for months. The system is designed this way. It's meant to keep you exhausted, to keep you so disconnected from yourself, your community, from your body, that you can't fight back. Our ancestors didn't have individualistic self-care. They had communal care. They had cultural practices that sustained them through mass unalivings and slavery and colonization and migration. They survived so much worse with much less. They knew that one person resting meant the rest of them could keep fighting. In times where everything feels uncertain, when the news is overwhelming, the cost of living keeps rising, and political tensions are high, joy becomes your inheritance. Rest is your revolution. Look, I know you've heard about self-care tips before, but this isn't just face masks and bubble baths. This is about surviving a system that profits off your exhaustion. Let's start by breaking the strong woman myth. Vulnerability is not a weakness. It's actually a strength. It's about being able to recharge. I mean, think about it. You have to charge your phone, your car needs maintenance. Everything needs time to plug in, to be productive. Let's talk about joy as resistance. And I know this sounds dramatic, but hear me out. In a world that profits off of our exhaustion, that says we don't matter, happiness is not something we deserve, joy becomes a radical act. Every time you prioritize happiness, you say, I matter. Every time you choose rest over hustle culture, you're breaking a cycle. Every time you laugh instead of powering through, you're reclaiming your humanity. Your joy isn't selfish, it's necessary. Dance like your ancestors are watching, because they are. And rest like it's a revolution, because it is. I'll see you next week, hopefully a little more joyful, a little more rested, and ready to dance. Bye.